Alrighty, fanboys and fangirls, on today's episode of Technoid, it is going to be all about the Apple Vision Pro. This thing is selling better than most anticipated, and it is actually, quote, sold out. So I want to take this episode to really break down how this thing is played out, talk about the Vision Pro, and really give my opinion on whether I think this thing is going to sell well or if it's not going to sell well, and how Apple can position this product in the long run going forward. All that on today's episode, so don't go anywhere, don't touch that dial because Technoid starts right now. Alrighty, the first story, the main story of the day, the Apple Vision Pro. Now, the Apple Vision Pro is officially on sale. It will begin shipping very soon, and it seems like it's doing pretty well because if we look at the numbers, if we take a look at all the pre-sales and we take a look at the actual units that are being sold, it is actually off to a somewhat impressive start because a lot of people going into this did not see this thing going past 100,000 units. A lot of people said it was going to be around the 50,000, 75,000 starting. But to see that it sold 130,000 to 160,000 units in the pre-sale sounds incredible. Now, real quickly, as I continue this video, I just want to let you guys know I'm coming down with something a little bit, mostly in the nasal area. So apologies if I sound a little stuffy, guys, but I am still energetic, just a little something going on up there. But anyway, moving past that, the Apple Vision Pro seems to really be kicking off Apple's new ambitious plans for a brand new line of products and also something to pave new innovation for the Apple ecosystem. Now, the thing is, there is some limitations to it, as we have seen and we have heard that a lot of app developers are still not on board. There are only going to be a handful of apps that are available at launch, so it doesn't seem like there was a lot built out. There is Netflix, there is music, photos, and others, but there will no be third-party app support, at least coming until later next year. So we'll have to wait and see how many app developers get on board. But the main purpose of this video is to talk about its potential and really to talk about what can this product do and how it can pave the way for a future, especially a very cool gadget-like future. Now, the first thing you need to understand is that the Vision Pro is a stay-at-home product. There is no way in living color is anybody going to take this thing and walk outside with a big pair of goggles. Well, imagine walking around with a thing like that. You see somebody in public going like that, take them right off your head. And the battery thing is magnetic, so you'll kiss those goggles goodbye. So this thing is going to be a stay-at-home product, but that's not to say that Apple won't work on an outdoor model version with a smaller form factor. But even then, who would want to bring this thing in public? This thing, in my opinion, is a product that is meant to be made to enjoy at home. It is made to be enjoyed in the comfort of your own surroundings, and I don't really necessarily see it going past that. But it does pave the way for future products, maybe 10 years down the road, like Apple glasses with VR technology built into the glasses. That's one. And also potentially sunglasses and other lines of VR products that are more minimal and can use the chunky build of the handles to make something unique. So there is potential there, and there is a lot of potential growth for the next 10 years. So that is number one. Number two, taking a look at the actual Vision Pro itself, does it need to sell well in order to be a hit? Here's the thing. When the first iPhone came out, everybody wrote that thing off and said it was not going to sell well, and it was only limited to AT&T or Singular Wireless, I believe. So it wasn't available to a lot of people. It wasn't available to the world. But it did sell well enough, and you could see the adoption of other companies and other carrier support getting behind the iPhone and how that worked out. And I think in this case with the Apple Vision Pro, third-party developers have to get behind the Vision Pro's development. They have to start developing apps, taking advantage of the goggles, and really making it support for the long term. Because if you have apps and supported models that can extend it and can keep the thing going, well, then you'll have potential for it to grow with more customers. Because if customers see there's more availability, there's more things to do with it, play video games, watch movies, do whatever, there you go. So I think app development has to be in that category. Number 3 is pricing. Now, I understand that this is a very expensive price for a very expensive piece of technology, but you have to understand something. This is a first generation product. This is a product that will definitely get revised, that will get tweaked, and they are going to have cheaper models coming down the road. This business model is the same model that Tesla and other companies have followed. They started out with an expensive model to test out the market, but they used it to build the infrastructure, they used it to build out the charging stations, they used it to build out, so by the time they were able to get to the cheaper model that can sell to the masses, they were ready to support all of those cars. And that's similar to what Apple is doing. They have a very expensive model, they have a very expensive pair of device, and they know it's not going to sell well as much as they would want it to. But by testing out the market, by getting enough users' feedback, and at 130 to 160,000 units within pre-sale, times that $3,000 price tag, that's a lot of money. And also, mind you, that this is not only the beginning. I think, in my opinion, here's my humble opinion. I don't think it needs to sell 250,000 units. I don't think it needs to sell 500,000. If it can sell 1 million total, it doesn't matter where, total in the United States, if it can sell 1 million units across the United States, because it's only available in the US, then I think it will have been a success. And I think that is enough for Apple to continue to work and to develop and to continue the project. Now, does it sound very unreasonable what I'm saying? Maybe in some areas, but again, there are people that can afford this. There are people out there that want this thing, and Apple does have a financing program that can work. So it's possible. And the last thing I want to talk about with the Vision Pro is the price. Now, again, it is going to get cheaper as time goes on, but we have to also remember something. This first generation model is a very special model. It is something that is going to be looked at from the very beginning up until the end. Now, I don't think for any stretch of the imagination, I do not think in any stretch, I don't think that this is going to be on an iPhone level or an iPad level product. But what I think it does is that it opens the potential to a future of augmented reality and virtual reality combined together. I think that this is a future that Apple has been really wanting to push, and the potential for it to grow is going to get there. But in order for it to get there, it has to start at a price where it's not made for everyone, but that they can continue to work on it, to continue to evolve it, and then for those that can afford and buy it, can give that feedback, and that's where they'll get to those cheaper models. My only suggestion to Apple with the Vision Pro, if by any miracle they were ever watching this video, my suggestion is very simple. Just keep the formula straightforward. Build out the infrastructure, continue your pricing scheme, and then eventually work on a lower cost model for the general consumers, for everybody to get. This model that we have right now is a first generation model, and as you know, with all products, they get better and better and better down the road. Now, I am very still tempted to get the Vision Pro. I know there's a lot of people out there asking their subscribers to help fund it. Listen, I do not discredit anybody if they want to do a fundraiser, because it is a very expensive product. It is something very not generally accessible for most people, but I'm very tempted to get it. I'm tempted to see what the hype is about, and I actually would love making videos with it, show you guys what it's like. But, you know, one step at a time. But this is what I wanted to talk about today. I just want to talk all about the Vision Pro and how it's done so far during the pre-sales and what are my potential thoughts down. Now, again, I will follow up in a 6-month later video. We will talk about it 6 months from now, because this is a brand new product category for Apple, and this really does set the paveway for something very, very incredible. So make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you do not miss when I upload. Again, guys, I'm sorry for how I sound. I definitely came down with some congestion or something, but I'll be back. I'll be okay. But anyway, guys, it's good to be back behind the camera. It's good to see all of you. I look forward to the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care, stay safe, have a good day, and peace!